Hello Pisces, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Pisces is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And there is some very beautiful energy, 6 of Cups. That is a lot of pleasure and ease and luxury and tranquility, all the things that we all want, right? Let's put that into some context, okay? Because, yeah, it's not always easy to get there, you know. But I feel like we've got a lot of spiritual energy in our life right now. I feel like this is... This seems very intense. We've got this Tower card down beneath everything. This is like all of the force and fire that is about to erupt. I think you're on the brink of some very important changes in your life. But first, let's do the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is the card that we select at random. We are not going to look at this until the very end. So we'll just set it down over here. We'll put the alien on top. And hopefully at the end of the reading, that card will tie everything together, you know, give us the confirmation that we need. So we've got major, major, major. See, a lot of major arcana just kind of coming like a wave over us, right? The spiritual energy is mounting. I think there's going to be a breakthrough very soon. We've got some air, some earth, some water. We've got some fire, some earth, some water. So it's a pretty balanced thing. We have a little bit of everything. We have a lot of this spiritual energy that, like I said, it's coming like a wave into our lives, right? So the 6 of Cups, what we're looking for really is connection. We're looking for meaning. We're looking for the universe to mirror our intentions a little bit, right? To kind of, to get back the same kind of love, the same kind of connection and devotion that we're putting out, yeah. And I feel like we really are... you're out there in the world, you're putting your intention out there. You're being loving, kind, expressive, vulnerable. You know, you're taking risks, you're taking chances. You're trying to connect with people. You're trying to connect with what you're doing. There's this sense of a harmonious life, right? Not necessarily an easy life or a tranquil life, but we're looking for that connected life, and we're looking for those moments of tranquility, those moments of calm, of clarity, you know, of peace. So it seems like in the middle of the storm, we see so much going on. We see that we got a 10 of Swords, we got a 7 of Pentacles, this Tower energy. We see, like, in the midst of, especially this, I think, right? I think this is what we're breaking free of. The 10 of Swords there. In the midst of all of this intense spiritual activity, there's this sense of holiness, this sense of calm, this sense of peace, this sense of connectedness. And I feel like that's what you're after, yeah. I feel like you want that as much as anyone, but perhaps a little bit more, okay? And to get there, we've got to go through this 10 of Swords. This is the breaking down of a lot of what we thought we knew. This is a mental or intellectual courage, really, right? This is to break with the tradition, break with expectation. This is to be bold and innovative and unique, despite the odds, despite what the consensus is. It's going against the grain of the world, right? Being your unique self. This is the mental courage that will allow us to really perceive the habits of thought, the habits of this kind of the inner monologue, what we tell ourselves, the belief, the reality of the world that we've created. I feel like this is the breakthrough. I think that there is something coming. It is peaceful yet chaotic. It is calm, but it's also violent, right? It's an eruption of this tower energy, but it's also the peace and calm and comfort of the priestess energy. This is what is above us. This is the beautiful divine energy that's coming down on you into your life. And we have to be open to receive this, right? We're in this gesture of acceptance, this gesture of gratitude, of surrender almost, to that divine energy, to this spiritual energy. Now, what I find very interesting is that we've got this kind of duality, this juxtaposition. We've got the calm, peaceful, lunar priestess energy here. We've got the very kind of violent, aggressive, explosive, powerful tower energy down below. And behind us, we've got this idea of balance. We've got this art or temperance card, which kind of is the blending of both, right? It's the blending of our assertive nature, of us really breaking through our limitations, the blending of that as well as this accepting of our limitations, accepting of the way the world is, accepting of the divine grace and the blessings that are coming our way. It's kind of like changing the things we can, accepting the things that we can't, right? So in the recent past, maybe the last year, I'm going to say, within the last year, I think you've gone through something very significant in your life, a major injury or illness, a major challenge, a major trial, right? It could be what you think of as the most difficult thing that you've ever done, okay? I think the last 12 months or so, you've experienced something like that. And I think that's really given you this new perspective. I think we have this inner peace and inner calm coming to us because now we've been through the fire and we know how to reconcile. See, my brain was going faster than my mouth for once. We're learning to reconcile these two aspects of life, the very turbulent and the very calm, right? The yielding and the striving. And behind it all, we have this quiet, this peace, calm. This is an inner joy that is not affected so much by the ups and downs, the trials, the tribulations. Yeah. It's an acceptance of all aspects of life now. I think that you have, I think, if you're still in the middle of this fire, if you're still in this challenging period of time, I think when you come out of it, you're going to have this fresh perspective. You're going to have this. It's like it's going to break down a lot of your preconceived notions, this structure of reality that we have. For one, the limitations, because I think that you really are breaking through a lot of your old ways of doing things, the limits that you've placed on yourself or maybe others have placed on you. I feel like this is a very emotional time for you. I think you're going through extremes of emotion, and this is that extreme that really wants to just tear everything down, right? It's that impulse to effect change, but to do so violently and abruptly, right? Just tearing everything down and rebuilding, okay? That's part of this impulse. I think we have that desire, and we need some of that energy in order to get out of this 10 of Swords. And the 10 of Swords, I'm kind of feeling is, it could be a kind of a dysfunctional group that you're involved with. I feel like it's a system, it's a matrix that you're involved with, And now we can just kind of say abstractly that it's just consensus reality. It is the standards and norms of the status quo of society, of the world. But I think you're in a specific situation that you're starting to break free from. And that's the Ten of Swords situation. Okay? It's some kind of it feels like a dysfunctional group. Maybe it's something at the workplace, something in the family, where it's something that we need to break free from. Okay? Feels like it's a system or a structure that has it could be like, generational trauma. It could be just this system of beliefs that we're carrying with us, right? The way we look at the world and the reasons why we do. Yeah. So there's kind of this violent resistance to that now. And there is also this kind of accepting grace that's coming into your life. And this is the real source of beauty and joy. This is your connection with God, Goddess, deity. This is you, kind of asking for a sign and receiving the sign. Yeah. This is you getting the confirmation out in the world from Spirit that you are on the right path, right? The abrupt change and then kind of the gentle change. We need a mixture of both of these in order for us to overcome what I see in the future as this kind of fear. Yeah. This is the fear that comes with any kind of change. I think we all have a little bit of that. We're in something now, we're getting comfortable with it, we're kind of familiar with it. Yeah. This Ten of Swords thing. It may not be perfect, but we're used to it now. Almost. So change brings with it this trepidation. There's an unknown factor here. There's a future now that we can't predict. It's a little dark, a little dim. Whereas the future with the Ten of Swords, we kind of know this is predictable at least, right? It may not really be ideal, but it's something that we've kind of gotten used to it. But getting out of that is worthwhile, but it's also a little scary. So we're dealing with this. We're confronting this fear here. The Seven of Discs is the fear. And this is how we overcome the fear, by facing it, by standing up to it. Yeah. And this process itself, I think, is enough to really bring about the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands is similar to what we see on the kind of middle pillar here on the path of the dove, because we've got the more active kind of external tower energy in the form of this sun that's at the top, and then we've got literally the lunar energy here at the bottom with the intuition, the grace, the gentleness, the yielding and accepting. And together these two create strength. So the strength comes from being in the fire. We're forging ourselves into a stronger version of ourselves. We're steeling ourselves, going into the fire and coming out of the fire, going back in and coming out again. It's this process of hardening, of tempering that steel. And that comes from a mixture of both of these kinds of energies, the gentle and yielding and the kind of aggressive, striving energy. And so I think you're a person now that is realizing their own strength. That's what it comes down to. You're realizing that you're a lot stronger than you thought you were. And it may take a situation like this to convince you. But we all need a little convincing sometimes. Here is the Eight of Cups in your environment. You go into the fire, you come out of the fire, you get dipped in cool water, right, to help that tempering process. Then we go back in the fire, and we come out again, we're back in the water. This is the water of This is the emotional component of the Ten of Swords that we're in. This structure, this system, this environment, this relationship, this matrix, whatever it is, a family, a work thing. The emotions that come along with it, I think, are very. It's really pushing and pulling on your emotions. You know what I mean? It hasn't been just an easy, steady thing. It's been just being jerked in one direction, being jerked in the other direction emotionally, right? Maybe some emotional manipulation, some gaslighting. It feels like it's always something. Yeah. Just when these cups start to fill up again, something comes along and just pulls the rug out from under them, right? Just kind of pulls the cork out and they just drain. So I feel like this is the real state of things that we're trying to get out of. You know, so these two really are very much connected. And again, what we're looking for is the Six of Cups, this tranquility, this peace. It's almost like an inner peace. Despite all the turmoil going on around us, we can find that place within us that is peaceful and calm and joyous and protected. And part of this, I think, is fortifying ourselves against this kind of manipulation, this type of fluctuation of water, of feeling. Yeah. Because this kind of environment really, it wears you down. You know, this kind of water, it's such an agitation of water that eventually it starts eating away at us, grinding us down, wearing us down over time, until we almost feel just kind of powerless against it. But I don't think we're at that point yet, especially with this very strong energy. Now, all of this energy is very strong on the path of the dove. You know, the tower energy especially, it's not ideal, right? That kind of energy is not, it's not the best. It's kind of almost a last resort. But that is being tempered. It's being moderated by, it's being mitigated by this priestess energy, by this grace, by this connection to divinity, by our devotion to our higher power, our source, our mystery. So I think we're able to conquer this. Yeah. Now the next card is very interesting, and we have to be careful here because this could be a water sign person. I'm kind of getting this older male vibe. They may be a Cancer person. I feel like this is someone who contributes to some of this difficulty. Let me just put it that way. And then when you have a reaction to it, then they come back hat in hand, so to speak, and ask for forgiveness. It's kind of a manipulation, okay? Because it feels like they're always doing something and then they're always asking for forgiveness or apologizing. It'll never happen again. I'll make it up to you. These kinds of things. This card's in the position of what we don't want. We don't want this person to come and ask for forgiveness anymore. We don't want it to ever get to that point again where we're being asked to take somebody back, you know. To once again say, I forgive you, it's okay. We don't want that anymore. We're getting rid of that. But this card is also what we need. Now, not this person. Now we're changing this a little bit. The Knight of Cups is something that we need. This is an opportunity for you to give somewhere else, not to this person, not in this situation, right? I think we're getting out of this. But this is an opportunity for you to volunteer, to be of service, right? To maybe give back, to help someone find their power, fortify themselves. Yeah. Someone who might be in a similar situation to you. So with the Nine of Cups, we're getting rid of that person, but then we're also becoming a source of empowerment, of inspiration to others. right? We're trying to pay it forward. It's like we create a vacuum. We get rid of this energy, so then we can become this greater energy that's ready to give. Yeah, because we don't see a lot of other water in this reading. We see the kind of manipulated water. We see the manipulator, perhaps. But then we also see opportunity. Opportunity for you to give back, right? For you to be of service to others who are in similar situations. Now, the final card that we see on the path of the serpent is the Eight of Pentacles. Now, this is kind of like an immersing yourself in some other daily practices of gratitude, practices of, again, giving back, charity, right? Being of service to others, helping others in some way, helping people carry their groceries, or I don't know, just something physical that brings you into contact with others and, doing something in the physical environment. This is also something like caring for something or someone, your pets, your plants, your people. If you don't have plants, if you're not a gardener, go get one small plant somewhere and make it a daily ritual to take care of it, to nurture it, to find out what it needs, to give it the right amount of water, sunlight. Does it need 6 hours by the window, a few hours in some shade, or does it need to be outdoors, indoors, whatever? Helping that plant grow is going to give you an awareness of kind of what you need and what you deserve too, right? So the plant in some ways is us, it's other people, it's literally its own being. And it kind of will help us to get into the right, everyone talks about the right headspace. I like to think of the right heart space, to really do something about this Eight of Cups. And I think what we're doing is we're using it as an opportunity to start getting into this Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is my heart space is recognizing your heart space. My Three of Cups is resonating with your Three of Cups, right? This abundance of love and joy and beauty and kindness that I feel is bringing out the best in you, and your best is bringing out the best in me, and we're all resonating at the same frequency. Yeah. But to get to this point, this is kind of, this is what we want. This is what I think we're working toward, and we're achieving this. It really is some intense spiritual energy that is, like I said at the beginning, it feels like this is all a spiritual wave that's coming over you, and we have to just roll with it. We have to. We don't want to struggle against this. We want to use this momentum to get ourselves free of this Ten of Swords, get us free of this Eight of Cups. And, start finding our cool, clear, and tranquil waters. This is where we're headed with it. So just like a wave that's washing over, it may feel a little turbulent and a little violent to begin. But if we ride that wave all the way to the end, it ends up in a nice pool, right? A nice spring, kind of clear, an oasis. I don't know where exactly it ends up, but just in a nice, calm, peaceful bay or lake or something, Let's look at the mystery card. Thank you, Alien, for keeping an eye on this for us. I'd like this to be a reinforcement of some of this good water energy. We get the Six. We know why we want the Six. Let's circle back around to the Six. Yeah. Well, we've got the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is also this Cancer type of card. So maybe this is the this is the reinforcement of those two ideas that we had about this Knight of Cups. Now, the Knight of Cups, I think, is really, truly someone that we don't want in our life anymore. This is what we don't want. And that is someone emotionally manipulating, someone gaslighting, someone that is always doing wrong and then asking for our forgiveness. And then I said that the other aspect of this kind of Cancer energy is being of service, nurturing, being a caregiver. And we've got a confirmation of that with this Chariot card, you know. I think the Chariot card is showing us what kind of energy is important to us and what it feels like to be giving this positive energy, what it feels like to be receiving this positive energy, right? The rewards that we get when we are of service, when we help someone else, it has its own rewards for us. So I think that this is the strength and the readiness to go your own way and follow your own path. And I feel like that path is really one of healing, you know? With the Cancer energy, I have this real healing vibe that I'm getting. So whatever kind of service work you're involved with, I think there is that healing aspect. You know, as this kind of caregiver, I think that's really important to you. I think that's going to be a very powerful tool for you to use. A very powerful spiritual experience too. You know, connecting with people on this level. We're going to do an extended reading. If you would like to stick around, just click on the link that's right up there. That will give you access to all of the extended readings, Pisces. All right, not just for Pisces, but for every sign. So you can watch your other placements, you can cross-watch. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you again very soon.